The war's anniversary has grown so very, very old. How long cold, unending despair? How long? Welcome to Undervale. Our top story. Last night's Undervale PTA meeting ended in dust piles as a rift in time-space split open in the Stonens Recreation Center auditorium, setting loose several confused and physically aggressive Quetzalcoatl's. The glowing portal remained open and screamed insensibly, an unholy sound that witnesses said resembled a noisy rock monster chewing Kaya's snow-removing machine, and then slowed down and amped up through some kind of open-source, easy-to-use audio editing software. The Quetzalcoatl's mostly attacked muzzles with glasses. Authorities are still unaware why, as Undervale's only flying monster expert, Scar Scrag, still has not recovered from last year's bout with Moffat. It took almost 2 hours to corral the panicked beast back into the vortex and resume the meeting, which had mostly been upon the recent lunchroom price hikes, and had devolved into name-calling because of Helen DeMoss calling Linda Minion's daughter Megan a bit chubby, and that maybe needs a little financial incentive to eat less. In this reporter's opinion, though DeMoss is essentially obsessed with the Capital Handbook's best-selling Squeakonomics books, dangerously so. Fortunately, no one was injured or killed in the incident, although experts from Dime Repairs estimated close to 6,066 gold in damage has been done to the Snowden Rec Center auditorium. And that cost includes free storm windows and a complimentary winter installation consolation. It's election season again, and you know what that means. The Royal Guard will be coming by to collect certain family members, so that everyone votes for the corrected council member seats. And there's no confusion. These family members will be held in a secure and undisclosed location, which everyone knows is the abandoned bench on the outskirts of Waterfall. But don't let the name fool you, listeners. It's been used for so many kidnappings and illegal detentions at the abandoned bench outside the town. It's actually pretty nice location these days, featuring an echo flower, free Wi-Fi, and Spanish quiche. Also torture cubicles. But I don't think anyone's going to make the Royal Guard use those. Remember, this is the underground. Vote correctly, or you'll never see your loved ones again. This message brought to you by The Snowden newspaper today announced due to a recent economic downturn, they'll start running ads on the front page. Any business interested in running one of these super special ads should contact editor Lady Garth. Lady Garth mentioned that they've created a Write Your Own News Story program for interested citizens. Because every writer has been laid off, the Snowden newspaper now needs these community contributions to supply Undervale with important news and features. The first super special ad runs next Thursday and features a terrifying face of an infant slime monster with a superimposed spoon that has been ice sharpened to a rough point. And the tagline, better use MDD's super scented detergent. Lady Garth also said last year's explosion that decimated the newspaper distribution center is still totally an accident, and would like her insurance rep to call her back. Please, call her back. This just came across the wire. The Royal Guard have issued a statement shedding more light onto last night's PTA meeting incident. The noisy portal and subsequent dinosaur attack that brutally interrupted a discussion of swing set repairs on the elementary school playground long after Recreation Center employees thought they had rounded up all of the ancestral beasts, and authorities warn there might be at least one more Quetzalcoatl on the loose. Citizens should cover themselves in low-grade MTT anti-air repellent and hide in tall grass. Several curious basketball players in the court next to the auditorium actually popped their heads into the portal just to see what was on the other side of the vortex, and came back dramatically changed. The players aged several millennia in what the bystanders experienced in only a few seconds. Those basketball players now straddle the border of agelessly wizened and crippling insane. Since psychological and emotional damages are no longer covered by valid claims by the greater medical insurance community, we are still reporting 0 injuries. We'll update you as further details surface in our ongoing very special coverage of the dinosaur attack portal. Are we safe from pterodactyls? No way. The king has asked me to read the following message. If you notice strange ores around the following objects in your house: blender, stovetop, dog, brother, sister, table, chair, doorknob, ceiling fan, photographs, collectibles of any kind, especially those depicting or involving musical instruments, DVDs, especially School Ties, Guardians of the Underground, and Supernatural, the 6th season, and any bagged water sausages from Waterfall or Heartland. Please, report to the Royal Guard for indeterminate detention. Speaking of the king, he decreed last week to remove the large glass door from the southwesternmost crook, the Neon Cavern. You know, the area pulsating with green light and loud buzzing noises. Many Undervale citizens attended the monthly address, including, it was said, several humans. Although no human is admitted to ever been present for the address, or any event ever, for that matter. Ex-Queen Torio agreed with the measure, adding the glass was a hazard to children, and that the old door was nothing but a ticking time bomb. According to address notes, the ex-queen said, the old door will bring harm to children. A child might even cut themselves on the glass. Gaster, handsome Gaster, with tragically sparking clean lab coat, reported was the only dissenting voice, but it was not clear he actually opposed the measure, as minutes into him reporting and stating, there's no time, into a black rectangle in his hand, and running, winded, from the castle courtyard. According to ex-Queen Toriel, he was absolutely perfect. It smelled of oil and chewing gum. More breaking news on the Quetzalcoatlus. We humbly offer our retractions about our previous reports. The Royal Guards are now reporting that the offending beasts were not Quetzalcoatlus after all, but pterodons. Also, Quetzalcoatlus are not even dinosaurs as the station previously stated. Just winged reptiles that lived 12 million years before pterodons. Finally, earlier we reported the death toll of 0, when in fact the number was closer to 33. We regret these errors. It's almost football season, and the Waterfall Skeletons are gearing up for defense of the high school division title. But really, as long as we beat Heartland, fans and scientists alike feel we are just fine. Coach Natalie Kessler reports that she's particularly excited for the progress of the sophomore quarterback Anine Lamau made on the offseason, which after she ate that snowman, it gave her strength rivaling Undyne's, and the intelligence of a very sleepy and literal rock. But if Undervale is going to beat their bitter rivals this year, and stave off the government-administered chocolate ban that follows a losing record, Lana will have to improve her accuracy. Lana only completed 2 out of the 127 pass attempts. Most notably, she is in the advanced stages of leukemia, and because her throwing hand had been removed due to several overdue library books. Apparently, the off-season lightning strike healed Lano's terminal ailments, and court-ordered amputation, and she's ready to take on Hotland. Which is probably the worst team ever. God, they're a nightmare. And now, an editorial. Let's talk about apartment building etiquette. Now, I myself live in an apartment building, and there's compassion and acceptance you have to have for a certain level of annoyance. It's people in close proximity to each other, so there'll be some things you don't like, and still have to let go. But other things are absolutely unacceptable. For instance, a certain level of strange radiating light or heat shared wall is expected, but any oozings or visible membranes are rude and thoughtless to all your neighbors. Crying, screaming, and bass-heavy music are the kind of thing that are fine at 2 p.m., but absolutely not fine at 2 a.m. We're all in this together. Put your trash in trash cans, not in the hallway leading to cans. Put on some clothes when you're standing in front of windows or open doors, and keep any rituals or crazed ramblings to hours when no one is trying to sleep. It doesn't have to be hard. We have a very unexpected treat today, dear listeners. Live in our studio, we have one of the mysterious scientists that are often seen around town. We did not actually invite her here. She was waiting for us when we unlocked the studio this morning. She has not moved, nor spoken since. And I'll be honest, I am only guessing that she is a she. Because physical attributes are hard to determine under those codes. And the face is completely hidden in a mask, as opaque and black as the void. But hey, we're doing a radio show. She's in the radio station. Let's see if we can get an interview. Scientists, how are you doing today? Okay. Care to comment on the recent explosion at the garbage dump? Any comments at all? Anything you'd like to tell the ordinary folks of Undervale about your fellow scientists? Listeners, I'm not sure if you can hear this. It's not a problem with your radio or transmitters, but the scientist is making noise in our studio. It's pretty deafening, actually. Alright, I don't think she's gonna stop, and she's starting to levitate, so let's go on to the weather. Ladies and gentle monsters, we've just received word from the royal scientists of the portal that the portal that opened at last night's PTA meeting has been sealed at last. The final missing pterodon has been returned to its own timeline in either prehistoric or alternate universe Undervale. The lifeless creature's body was found 24 yards outside the car jump's entrance. Stripped of all flesh, and with most of the organs inverted and strung around its skull, like an old-fashioned crown of soft meats, as worn by 6th century magicians that put the barrier around our fair mountain. The dinosaur's body was returned to the vortex, the gateway closed, and the PT meeting rescheduled for next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. That meeting will continue to address the important issue of the giant ice cubes, or whether or not seeing them causes autism. There will be a memorial service for the 33 dead parents and teachers who lost their lives in the attack, followed by a raffle. Remember, winners must be present at the time of their drawing to claim their prizes. The King and the Royal Guards has issued a reminder that Undervale citizens of all species and geological areas are not to enter, look at, or think too long about the garbage dump. This reminder, they say, is completely unrelated to anything that may or may have not happened today. Coming up next, stay tuned for a 1-hour special Morse code for trombones and triplets. And listeners, the underground is an ancient place, full of histories and secrets, as we are reminded today. But it is also the present moment, full of life, and all of us. If you hear my voice speaking live, then you know we are not history yet. We are happening now, and how miraculous is that? Good night, listeners. Good night. Today's proverb: what has 4 tentacles in the morning, 2 at noon, and 3 in the evening? I don't know, but I trapped it in my bedroom. Send help.